26 minutes before 11 o'clock. Once in a while, we'll have a topic that we are announcing that we're talking about as we get closer to the date, and I will get some emails regarding the topic, and I got some for this next one. If you are out there and you wanted to have information about the Court of Appeals hearing the class action lawsuit of the transfer of 41,000 Verizon management retirees' pensions into a single group annuity sponsored by the Prudential Insurance Company, this is the time to listen in. I don't know if our guest is accepting calls. We'll find out in just a second. But Jack Cohen is our guest. He is the chairman of the Association of BellTel Retirees. And I did have a couple of emails from people who knew we were speaking to Jack this morning with definite questions. So call in if you have those questions, 622-9622. In the meantime, let me say good morning to Jack. Good morning, Jack. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Where are you right now?
Well, I just finished shoveling some snow for, I don't know, every Sunday, evidently, we get a snowstorm.
Where is it?
I'm in New York, north of the city, about 50 miles.
Oh, okay. What is it called? What's the area called?
Yorktown Heights, New York.
Yorktown Heights, okay. I guess I don't know that area. Well, thank you for being on the air with us. A lot of people who once worked up there now live down here. And I guess we struck a chord when we mentioned the topic of today.
Yes, we have a lot of our membership. We have 130,000 members across the country and parts of the world, and many of them reside right down in Florida.
What does the decision by the U.S. Court of Appeals mean to the average retiree? Well,
it's a complete change, depending on how they decide. It's going to really develop ERISA law and have many repercussions for retirees and pensioners throughout the nation.
And their concern, I guess, is it going to reduce their pensions or reduce the longevity of their pensions?
Well, to go back to when this began in the late fall of 2012, when 41,000 Verizon retirees were told that as of the first of the year, they will no longer be pensioners from Verizon, but now they will have a group annuity from an insurance company. The ramifications that holds immediately are very transparent, because not a dollar will be reduced from their what was their pension. They will just get a check from a different source. However, what that changed was that now, where it was a pension, it now becomes a group annuity. Now, the difference there is in terms of protections. All right, before they were protected by the ERISA laws, which was started in 1974 with when that law was passed. The Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation is a byproduct of that legislation. And there are protections for retiree pensions built into that law. As a group annuity, it takes it totally out of the jurisdiction of the federal protections, and it becomes the jurisdiction of the states. The federal government has really passed on to the states the role of regulating insurance companies. So every state has a different approach. There are state guarantee associations that are relevant in the case of a group annuity. For example, protections. New York has a protection via state guarantee associations of $500,000. So if there is a default on the part of the insurance company, the other guarantee associations join forces and try to bail out. But New York is different than New Hampshire, for example, that only protects $100,000. So, for example, if one of your viewers lives in New York, not viewers, but if you are a retiree and you live in New York,
right,
and you want to move to New Hampshire to be near your children, now you have to consider, will I lose $400,000 worth of possible protection for my group annuity if there is a failure on the part of the insurance company. And as we have found out during the financial crisis, nobody is too big to fail.
Wow. Oh, okay. So it could be trouble, huh?
Well, yeah, and not only that, but you have the situation now where there is really no added protections. For example, resale of assets. Supposing the insurance companies decide that they want to use the pension asset like a collateralized mortgage obligation. Remember those from the financial crisis?
Yeah.
Well, they chop that up, and what happens to your pension asset? Does that get resaled from insurance company to insurance company until it finally goes away? We don't know. I call the second major concern on my part the kid in the candy store frenzy. There is a stampede now on the part of insurance companies trying to get in on the ground floor of this thing. This is like all virgin territory for insurance companies. The public sector is underfunded, has underfunded pensions by about $4.7 trillion. All right, the private sector has so many underfunded pensions, they're trying to unload these lock, stock, and carburetor. And all of these insurance companies are sitting there like it's a feeding frenzy, and are they going to take on too much?
So is this a done deal, or is this already decided, or is there still some?
I'm talking in terms of if this is the way it acts now. I mean, there are companies that have already been taken over, and this applies to them.
I gotcha. Okay.
Okay, but depending on how my organization and a sister organization called ProtectSeniors.org are attacking this from two directions. The Association of BellTel Retirees has the litigation, and we're hopeful that we will get a positive resolution. On the other hand, the Protect Seniors group is attacking it from the legislative perspective in the various states, and we're trying to get cooperation and get the type of protections, not exactly, but at least similar to what we had under ERISA.
Do the people that are retiring and then they get the pension at the time they retire, are they offered a lump sum, or is it just a pension that they receive on an ongoing basis?
It depends on the company. General Motors did offer lump sum distributions. Verizon did not. Verizon hit us at the 11th hour, and in the fall of 2012, and this was going to be a done deal by January 1st. And the reason they were in so much of a hurry was they were trying to avoid the annual payment to the PBGC, which is a big cash outlay.
Oh.
So does it matter? Like you mentioned, somebody who worked in New York moved to New Hampshire. Each state is different. So the retirees that we have here in Florida,
yeah, they're covered. I think for $250,000 on their state guarantee associations, but they all operate under different lengths, terms of liability, exposure. It's all decentralized, so you gotta. It all depends. When you move to another state now and you're a retiree, you have to wonder, what's going to be my liability in the state.
And how will this affect the beneficiaries then of the retirees?
The beneficiaries of retirees, you mean their children?
Right, exactly.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because this thing with pensions is only the latest salvo. This has been going on since the early 1990s. I mean, in terms of, there is a perception that retirees are like a cow's udder. When you need to fill a gap in the budget, go yank on the cow's udder. All right, I read there was an article in USA Today a couple of years ago that made me almost heave. It showed a retiree in the life of leisure coming back from their yacht off the Florida coast to to the yacht club for lunch, going out and playing the 18 holes, gave the impression that retirement was a tremendous boon to the economy. In 2013, the Kaiser Family Foundation came out with a report. It was dated May 20th, and it was based on a census review of those over the age of 65, and believe it or not, they found that 48% of seniors over the age of 65 have twice the poverty level income.
Wow, that's a shame.
And it's in Florida, it's 51%.
Oh.
Wow.
They recalibrated because prior to the study, they did not include out-of-pocket medical costs in their equation. Now, how do you have a census of over 65 people on their net income and not include out-of-pocket medical costs?
Jack, we're just about out of time. I want the listeners to have whatever information you have so that they can research this if they need to. Now, the website you gave us so far is protectseniors.org, so I'll just repeat that one. Is any other websites that'll give them information about this?
Well, the Association of BellTel Retirees website will give, they have a pull-down menu on the status of the litigation.
Is it BellTelRetirees.org?
Yeah, well, if they Google BellTel Retirees, they'll see it right away.
Okay.
The other one, the protectseniors.org, will give a lot of our legislative initiatives. And I tell you, we're the only game in town that is pursuing things like this.
So the question that I don't know that somebody's asking this, but the one I would wonder about, if I retired from the state of New York and moved down here, would I might want to consider, am I saying it right? Would I might want to consider moving back to New York? Would my pension be safer if I moved back?
Well, you'd have more coverage from the state guarantee associations.
Okay.
However, what we're trying to do is and we're getting a certain degree of cooperation from elements within the insurance industry, because it's to their advantage that they do not have a hostile group of retirees.
Yeah, I would think so. Is the annuity part of this contingent on the stock market?
The annuity is going to be the same as you had a pension. That transition is transparent. All right, where you are vulnerable is in the protections going forward.
Okay, it's a little bit over my head, to be honest with you, but I know that the listeners who were responding to the mention of this today will probably be getting in touch. Nobody called during the show, though, so I wasn't avoiding calls. ProtectSeniors.org, BellTelRetirees.org also, and Jack Cohen, thank you for the good work you're doing, and don't shovel much more snow. Either that or move to Florida for a little bit. Be a snowbird or something.
But don't tell anybody you're moving. That way your pension's intact.
Yeah, keep the New York address.
Yeah.
Too much heat down there. If I don't have freezing weather, I go into withdrawal.
Oh, I like that. Well, I miss it, to be honest with you. Jack, thank you so much for being on the air with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. After some dense morning fog, we'll see some sunshine, followed by increasing clouds today, high 76 to 80, and partly